what we talk and what we have for us and for their constituents. We'll be starting with PRO. Last to visit presidential post. Each of these officers will speak for 3 minutes. All we want from you is your introduction, what you have for your constituents, and how you want to go about it. The president will have 5 minutes to speak to the audience, speak to those outside, to hear from them what you have to offer. At the end of the exercise, we may have a room for questioning from audience, maybe calling, I don't know, so that you answer questions from the audience on what you have said about your proposed agenda. So this is how the program is going to run. I wish every one of us a very successful next year. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you so much, Prof. Thank you, Prof. And well, the Prof has laid down all of the guidelines that we'll be following during the course of the program this afternoon. So let's just get right into it. Like he said, the manifestos will be starting from the PRO positions up until the presidential positions. Every other candidate will have 3 minutes, except the presidential candidate will have 5 minutes each. There are a few rules that will be following here, and I'll have Rejoice give us those rules.
Okay, we have two rules that we need to abide by while we're here in law and order manifesto. And now we are dividing into two, which is rules for the aspirants and then rules for our live audience, our distinguished live audience. So for the aspirants, please listen carefully. All other aspirants have a maximum of 3 minutes, while the president has 5 minutes to speak. We have a timekeeper, which is Ms. Ngozi Anibido. This is our timekeeper. Please kindly show them what the timekeeping the sound sounds like.
For the warning bell.
So that's the sound for your warning bell. You have 30 seconds warning bell towards the end of your time for speaking. And then that's for time up. So once you hear that bell, please ensure you round up with what you have to say. You have only that amount of time to communicate about your manifesto. Now, there will be no name calling. Ensure that your manifesto should not be at the expense of the reputation of your opposition. If you are offended or something someone else has said offends you in any way, please ensure that you wait until they are done with speaking before you say what you have to say. Don't speak while they are speaking. Now that's for our aspirants. For live audience, please let's ensure all our phones are on silent. Please put them off. Better still. Then there will be no loitering while we're here, and we are encouraged to maintain orderliness in this place. Speakers should not be interrupted by the audience. I know there are supporters of some aspirants in here. Please, when the person you're supporting is speaking, ensure you let them finish before you interrupt or ask any questions. Then, if you're going to give them a round of applause, please make sure they are done before you give a round of applause, because that's going to take out of their time that they have to speak. Thank you.
Okay, so there you have it. You have all of the rules that we will be following during the manifesto. Not to forget that this event is is live on radio. It's being aired live on radio, Search for 92.3. And for everyone who's listening right now, it's also live on Facebook and YouTube. On Facebook, all you have to do is search media, and you'll find this video live. Also on YouTube, search TV Futminna, and you will be able to follow this live on YouTube and Facebook. So let's just get right into it. Like has been earlier said, we'll be starting from the PROs. So first on this list is Uja Anthony Oche from the Electrical and Electronics Engineering Department, 200 level, vying for the position of PRO. Please make your way forward so that you can present your manifesto. Remember, you have just 3 minutes. On the 2 minutes 30-second mark, you will get the warning bell, and following that, after 30 seconds, your time will be up. Is that candidate present, please? Uja Anthony Oche. Okay, seems like he's not present at this time. How about Daniel Prince Divine, computer science 200 level PRO? Okay, he's making his way forward now. Please remember you have 3 minutes. On the 2-minute 30-second mark, you get a warning bell. And following that, on the 3-minute mark, your time will be up. And just pay attention to the timekeeper. Your time starts now.
Daniel. Good afternoon to you. My name is Daniel. The channel of STEM and computer science department was in division of information management, University of Miami. The training that happened was in digital technology. I've listened to some incidents where fake certificates were used and those certificates are published to educated workers just for everyone to learn. Those certificates can be edited by anyone who builds a technology company, and then they can edit it and be shared to other groups or shared to other students, and then those students get to see that which they have created. Presently, I plan to end the month of that by sending out
hostel sport competition. That is, all the students that are staying in hostel, they were able to participate in sport that they love. And those that are staying off K, we are going to organize interlodges sport competition as well, so that everybody will be able to participate in the sport they love. Creation of more football field. How am I going to do this? I'm going to liaise with the school management so that they will reason with us to give us more field. As you all know, we are having only one field here in GK, and there is competition on it already. By the time Bosolet will come, so the competition will be more. So for this, there is need for more creation of field. So we are going to talk to them, we are going to plead to them. I think in this we have enough land, so that we are going to have more field. Each faculty is supposed to have their own field truly in this school. Another thing is the current one we are having. We are going to work on it to revive it. We are going to revive all the facilities so that at the end of it, we'll be able to enjoy the sports that we love. So for this, my people, I want to implore you, tomorrow, please come out in massive to vote your board. Thank you.
That was a very passionate delivery right there. Information reaching us is the very first candidate I called for PRO is around now. But we'll finish with all of the candidates for the position of Director of Sports. And up next is Ajaka Shamsdin Abdullahi, the 400 level of the Cyber Security Department. Is he there? Okay. Remember that this event is being streamed live on Search TV, on Facebook Search Media, and on YouTube Search TV Futminna. You have 3 minutes. Your time starts now.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Adaka Shamsdin. I'm a foreign level student for cybersecurity. I'm contesting for the post of Director of Sports in the upcoming SCG election. Why am I going for this post? It's because I am positively remarkable because I have been the Director of Sports for my faculty and I delivered. So now I've been easily going and readily available to contribute towards the betterment of sporting activities in this school. So now they just concluded Nuga Games. When they talk about sports in this school, everybody talks about football. So let's leave football aside. Let's see Uniport, Unilag. They had a lot of gold medals in the Nuga Games. And then why did they get gold medals? They won gold medals in swimming, hockey, chess, Scrabble. So now, most people, if you tell people you are a sportsman and you tell them you don't play football, they don't take you serious. So now, for example, now hockey in the school field. They usually play hockey, but now they don't play hockey anymore. Why don't they play hockey in the school field? It's because these sports people, they don't give them that importance. You might come to watch. For example, now, let's say I play badminton and we come to complain to you that we don't have shuttle. But you just tell us, no problem, we'll look into that. And then you don't answer them. So now they will not have that ginger to come and participate in such sporting activities. And then you have, when it comes to sporting activities, everybody just assumes it's only faculty level. We have plenty of people that are good in many sports in this school, but they do not have that chance to showcase their talent just because they have people better than them at the faculty level. When we introduce competitions such as interstate, we have a lot of state associations in this school, but most people don't even know about the associations. Why? Because they have many closed-door meetings. But if we should hold an interstate festival where you have Kogi State, Kwara State, all of them bringing their athletes for different sports, football, hockey, table tennis, badminton, those that didn't get the chance to participate at the faculty level will have the chance to participate at the interstate level. And then you have the coaches. If they did not see them participate during the faculty competitions and they see them participate in the interstate competitions, they'll be like, okay, this guy is actually good. And then they can pick them to contest. So why we don't have most people participating in other sports is because they are limited to only faculty competitions. And then that is why you don't have many people participating. Thank you.
Okay, that was a very enlightening one there. Please, if you have questions for those who have spoken so far, kindly write it down because we'll be taking those questions at the end of the manifesto. Right about now, we'll be inviting the aspirant for the position of the PRO, Uja Anthony Oche,
From the Department of Electrical and Electronics Engineering, 200 level. You have 3 minutes to speak. You have the floor.
Good afternoon, everyone. It is indeed a rare privilege and amazing opportunity to thank Almighty God for the flow of thoughts that came to my mind as an individual to have finally decided to be part of this journey of grinding for better tomorrow. I offer warm and extensive regard to all great leaders, stakeholders, vibrant comrades, and other distinguished members and students of this great institution. My name is Uja Anthony Oche, aka Satoni, a 200 level electrical engineering student of the Federal University of Technology, Minna. I'm contesting for the office of the PRO at the forthcoming election. My lofty aspiration to contest for this position of PRO SUG is born out of my zeal and determination to serve and further contribute to the development of the most ideological union we hold in high esteem. As a fearless patriot and a man of people, I have served in my department, and I am equally ready to serve more with fairness and discipline in my. I am allowed to serve as the PRO of this. As the PRO, I have the following assignments. Number one, I will ensure all Futmites enjoy fast and reliable information through broadcast on time. Since I've been on campus, one of the things we suffer a lot is that students don't get the right information on time. And that leaves students in a state of panicking. So when I'm given the opportunity, I'm going to make sure that information gets to the students on time. Two, naturally, WhatsApp is currently the main point of information for anything the student union is doing. It is vital to recognize that not all students use WhatsApp and other social media. So as a result of this, some may be missing out on the content. So I plan to work with all PROs across all faculties and departmental levels to ensure that everyone has access to information that the student union is relying on. This can be achieved by bringing back the Futminna newsletter, which we update Futmites on all campuses and faculties on a weekly basis. And I will reevaluate the way Futminna uses social media and improve it in a possible way in order to keep all updated. I am also going to be behind the scheme, making sure that everyone knows what is going on and everything that is properly organized, arranged, and communicated. Finally, I will always stand for the interest of Futmite. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I know that everyone has an opinion at some point, but while the speakers are talking and you're murmuring on the side, you're distracting them. So as much as possible, if you can be quiet while the speaker is talking, especially if you're towards the front of the conference room. Thank you very much. Up next is Mr. Okoli Emmanuel Unemeka, a 200 level student of applied geophysics. He's vying for the position of welfare 2. Are you here? Okay, seems like he's not here at this time. Okay, so we'll move up to Adebayo Ayomide Fawaz, a 200 level of Industrial Tech Edu, Welfare 2 as well. Remember, you have 3 minutes, and the floor is yours.
Thank you, everyone. Good afternoon. My fellow students, I am really honored to stand before you today as a candidate for the position of the Office of the Welfare Director 2, SUG, Student Junior Government. My manifesto revolves around three key advocacies. Looking at it, we have the representation, support, and advocacy. What do I mean by representation? As a student who really cares about the interests of students, and also who has served as a class rep and a PRO in the level of NOTESA as a faculty, I have the interests of students at hand. And also, I work tirelessly to ensure the voices of students are heard effectively and addressed in a timely manner. What do I mean by support? The second one. As a welfare director to representing Boso Campus, FUT now, I'll prioritize the provision of comprehensive support services for all students. This includes the mental health support, career guidance, and financial assistance for those who are in need. My leader, Welfare One, has really, my leader, the present Welfare One, Welfare Director One, has really emphasized on the use of health by the yesterday's the program that was held yesterday at the Calverton Hall. I will make sure he has laid the foundation. I'll make sure I work on that foundation as well, and also sensitize Futminna on the importance of health-related issues. We all know we are facing through a lot. It's not really easy to be in school, and I know mental support, the mental support limit of everyone has it has a limit. So please, I'll make sure and I'll make sure the health of Futminna, I'll make sure it's very, very important. And advocacy. As a welfare director to representing Boso campus, I understand that the role of student union governments goes beyond the campus role. It's not just the four corners of the campus. I will use my position to advocate for the right and interest of students on a wider scale. How do I work this? This includes working with the university administration to address important issues such as funding, student housing, and academic resources. We all know the primary assignment of every Futminna in this school is what? Is academics. And I'll make sure that make number one first priority. And also their welfare is very, very important to achieve academic excellence. I go by the name Ayomide Fawaz, vying for the post of SUG Welfare Director to Boso campus. Your support is really highly needed. And I need your support. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ayomide. In the absence of the aspirant for Welfare Director 2, we'll be moving to Welfare Director 1. Please, let's have Eze Christian Nabuike from Department of Telecommunication Engineering, 300 level. Is he here? Okay. All right. All right, let's have Rahim Munta Olayinka from Department of Survey and Geoinformatics Engineering, 200 level. Remember, you have 3 minutes. Yes.
Good afternoon, dear distinguished guests, my dear comrades. I'm by name Munta Olayinka Rahim, 200 level Survey and Geoinformatics. Aspire for the Manifesto Director 1. Okay. My movement has been tagged disrupting the narrative. What I disrupted the narrative is that, as far as equity is concerned, referencing for the post of welfare director, there's already an established template, which we know that encompasses the transport, education, medical, that's the health, and the academic sector. Now, to disrupt the narrative in terms of academics, first of all, as a welfare director, I will need to reach out to every director of academics of every faculty to make sure that there's an ease and accessibility in terms of academics flow, and because we know that our first priority in FUT is our academics. In terms of other welfareism in FUT, I will have to liaise with every welfare director of all the faculties, the SRs of campus, the hostel reps, because most of the time, if the students are having any kind of issues, as the welfare director, the first thing I need to do, I can reach out to the student directly. So if I have a synergy with every welfare director, it will be easier for me to go ahead to solve issues. And in terms of emergency, we'll know how to relate the issues to the necessary authorities. Now I go by to the issue of transportation. There is already an established protocol when it comes to transportation in FUT. When emerged as SUG Welfare Director 1, promised to ease a free and less congestion in terms of the bus and transport sector. In terms of the security, I would liaise with security authorities in the school environment, outside the school environment, to have and to work effectively to make sure that the life of students in FUT is being secured. In terms of medicals, we all know that health is wealth, and as far as you're an FUT student, or as far as you're human, health is one of the paramount issues that you need to take at heart. So it should be easier for me as a welfare director to always reckon or we always talk to the medical sector to make sure that we follow up with them. And also at the same time, sensitize students on the fact that they have to always know that their health matters a lot while in school. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Olainka. I think going. Well, next is Mr. Jacob Emmanuel Ateza, the 300 level student of geography vying for the office of social director. Okay, I see him making his way towards the podium. Remember, you have 3 minutes, and the floor is yours.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am Jacob Emmanuel Ateza, popularly and socially known as COPJ, a 300 level student of geography department and also the aspirant for the post of director of socials, SUG 2023. So socials, everyone thinks is just about party. Though party is part of it, but then we are not coming up with just the party aspect. We are going to work on the dress sense of our students, one, our social media handles, and then we look at the party aspect and the cultural aspect concerning it. So when we talk about the dress sense, what are we saying? When we introduce the cultural aspect, we are going to improve our mood of dressing by bringing out talks, seminars, little gatherings, because with little gatherings we can communicate these ideas to students. But when we call up for large gatherings, you see people just come, most are distracted. So we want to improve our sense of dressing on campus so that Savicom and other members of the school authorities. So the other part, our social media handles. We have a lot of artists, content creators, and talented persons here in our campus. Only known around these 4 walls of the Futminna campus. No, we don't want that. We want to improve and make them. We know the power of social media these days. When like Twitter, we can bring up our artists far and wide, just like other schools as like Lagos and others. So we are going to work on our artists on campus, even if we see that just one artist hits the limelight during our administration. Thank you.
Please try as much as possible to avoid side talks when an aspirant is giving their manifesto. Thank you. So moving on to the next person, let's have Asema Hemen Savior from the Department of Chemical Engineering, 300 level student, vying for the post of social director.
A healthy social life is found only when, in the mirror of each soul, the community finds its reflection. In the whole community, the virtue of each one is living. Ladies and gentlemen, members of the press, standing before you is Asima Hemi Savior, also known as Miss Money, the social giant. I have only one goal, which is to save the social life of the university community. My campaign is centered on diverse and inclusive socials, collaboration with students, affordable socials, sustainability, and finally, student feedback. As the director of socials, my goal is to provide a fun, engaging, and inclusive environment for all students on campus. I believe that social events play an essential role in shaping the university experience and fostering the sense of community among students. Key priorities: diverse and inclusive socials. I will work to ensure that all students feel welcome to social events and the events present diverse student bodies. Innovative socials. I will an exciting social events to keep the campus community engaged and interested. Collaboration with student groups. I will partner with the student organizations and clubs to provide joint events and activities that will bring together students from different groups. Affordable socials. I will work to keep the cost of social events low and accessible to all students while ensuring that they are still of high quality and enjoyable. Sustainability. I will strive to make all social events environmental friendly, promoting sustainability and reducing weight. I will actively seek feedback from the students on social events and make changes based on their suggestion. On this note, I am committed to creating an inclusive and engaging environment for all students on campus. Leadership and passion, I believe that we can create a student union that truly represents the needs and interests of the student body. So help me God.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. The next candidates that we'll be inviting. Hello. Hello. Can I have your attention, please? Thank you very much. The next candidate we'll be inviting to the podium is Jibrin Abdullahi. He is a 300 level student of agroeconomics and is running for the office of Financial Secretary.
Out of the greatest Nigerian student, I go by the name Jibrin Abdullahi, a 300 level student of Agri-Economics and Farm Management. I'm here vying for the post of, good afternoon everyone. Good afternoon everybody. I go by the name Jibrin Abdullahi Okoshebutu, vying for the post of Financial Secretary. Reasons for my contest. At this point in time, I want to give back to the society which has given so much to me. I want to run a transparency, credibility, and an accountability regime to progress the union. And I want to give proper accountability in this time around. And I want to promote the student unionism through transparency and running a credible tenor. And one of the aims of my contention is, there is always a contention between the Office of Treasury and Finance. I want to work hand in hand with the Treasurer to keep proper record of every transaction of society that will go a long way in showing my accountability and transparency. Effectiveness and diligence. If elected as Financial Secretary, I intend to make sure that the Financial Department is effectively run with diligence and honest integrity, because I will be approachable and open to all suggestions, comments all, and to also make sure that with all the changes coming from financial well-being, stays perspective. God bless you. God bless you all.
Great Nigerian students. All right, let's have Fatai Usman Adigun from Department of Agric and Bioresources Engineering, vying for the post of the Treasurer. You have the floor, sir.
Greatest Futminna, greatest Futminna. I'm very happy to be here today. I'm by the name Abdul Fatai Usman, popularly known as Koko. Being a manifesto speech delivered by Fatai Usman Adigun, aspirant for SDG Treasurer. My saturation goes to God Almighty Allah, the authority who preserve our life to witness today's manifestos. The electoral chairman, Professor Kabir, the Search FM, dear stakeholder, dear believer, all aspirants, all entire Futminna, all protocol are duly observed. I'm indeed honored to present my manifesto on these long awaiting days of blue sky to prevent. I am Fatai Usman Adigun, popularly known as Coco, a 400 level student of Agric and Bioresources Engineering, aspiring for the position of treasurer in Student Union Government in Perdis University. I would like to tell you about my mission and what I have for entire Futminna. Number one, I will ensure that all the funds of the union are managed effectively. As a union executive, the great welfareism of Futminna is my priority. I work closely with other executives. God bless Abes, God bless Fosu, God bless Nuesa, God bless other technology, God bless Nigeria, and God bless the leader of Tutu. Thank you very much.
Please let's have it quiet.
One house. Hello. Hello.
Let's have it quiet. The aspirants, you need to know that any distractions that come will be taken out of the time you have to speak. So try to beg your supporters to let you speak before they interrupt you. Okay, moving on to the post of the Assistant General Secretary. We have an aspirant from Department of Survey and Geoinformatics, a 300 level student, Christopher Abimeko Danjuma. Is he here? Okay. In his absence, we'll be moving to the position of the General Secretary. We have our first aspirant from Department of Physics, a 400 level student, Stanley Chukwebuka.
Good afternoon to all the distinguished personality. My name is Stanley Chukwebuka, also known as Stainless, a 400 level student of Physics Department, one-time General Secretary of National Association of Physics Students 2019/2020 session, the former General Secretary of Nigeria University of Physics Science Student Association, NUPSA, 2021/2020 session, and the media aide to the SUG President. By the grace of God, I'm vying for the post of General Secretary at SUG level. Having known my constitutional responsibility as General Secretary, which is to keep attendance book and minutes of the General Executive Council in a regular manner and under the direction of the President, keep general administration correspondence and supervise all members of the staff, and also to be part of the Student Welfare Committee. Having known this, and which I will adhere strictly, I want to go extra mile to create a program like live after school program for all the students, like from 100 level to 500 level, like skill empowerment program, in which students will come and learn, and certificate will be given to them. You see, in Nigeria today, we all know there's difficulty in work, there's like unemployment. So I believe with this skill acquisition, it will benefit our students to also learn. And also, one of my major manifestos is I want to increase the academic performance of students. I want to increase it. Yeah. So I want to create a platform, a student union platform, where 100 level to 500 level can easily go and access online handout, instead of buying it. Also, being a member of welfare committee, I want to liaise and I want to dialogue with welfare to make sure that the health and the interests of the students are met. When I went to a clinic, sometimes I was told that drug they are giving them have expired. So as my constitutional duty to be a member of the welfare committee, I will make sure that all these things are checkmate for the interest of our students. Also, I want to create a legacy project like magazine. I want to create magazine, a legacy project in which students, even if you graduate, you will remember for it. And by the grace of God, if I'm elected as the General Secretary of Student Union, I will deliver. And not only that, while serving as General Secretary in my department, I won the best executive. While serving as General Secretary in my faculty, I also won the best executive. So I believe that action speaks louder than voice. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I think we need to have a brief recap of some of the rules. Hello. I think we need to have a brief recap of some of the rules we covered, some of the ground rules we covered. One of the most important ones is if you are offended or you have something against what the candidate who is speaking is saying, that's what the question and answer session is. So please write down your objections and stop interrupting, please. Let them have their time to be able to deliver their manifesto completely. Thank you very much. Up next, sorry for that. Up next, we'll be having Agbola Oluwatobi. He is a 400 level student of the Quantity and Surveying Department, vying for the office of General Secretary.
This is Search FM.
One of the greatest Nigerian students. I'm by name Agbola Oluwatobi, a student of Quantity Surveying Department, 400 level, and I'll be aspiring for the position of General Secretary. For sustainability of system to be achieved, the administrative arm of such union must be proactive and efficient towards executing official duties. Now, in this respect, we need a functional secretary that will make the union more perfect and interested in the students' well-being. Now, secondly, a proper and accurate documentation of files and records regarding to the union is one essential obligation of the General Secretary, which I am very ready to make this happen. Now, one of the functional requirements of a secretary is to make sure that he has a good documentation ability. And this is one thing I am able to do because I am the outgoing General Secretary of my faculty and I know what it takes to have a proper documentation. Check and balancing of the union state is another essential obligation of the General Secretary. This is to ensure that every offices are up and doing, in the sense that the General Secretary makes sure that he ensures that every offices, every officials of the union are up and doing in the sense that they are into their obligations, like they take up their responsibilities as when due. On this note, I would love to come students of Futminna and ask for their support ahead of the upcoming election, which will be happening tomorrow. Thank you very much, and God bless you. Long live Futminna. Long live FET Students Union. Long live Niger State. Thank you very much.
All right, still on the office of the General Secretary, let's have Abubakar Amadu Ndako Garba from Department of Agriculture and Biosources Engineering, a 400 level student.
The ability of a man cannot be determined by his size or status, but by his intelligence, integrity, discipline. Selfless service to students and humanity is always my priority, as that will shape students' safe stay in the university and ease their academic and extracurriculum in school. And state as a whole, I have served at numerous capacities and of academic responsibility, social groups, and others before now, with the hope of wanting to serve more to ease the pain of Futminna and mankind, as new challenges of different kinds always confront our dear Futminna. I will be fully on ground to provide solutions. I am here to serve the student community and not to be. If I am elected as the General Secretary, I shall ensure all secretaries' works are properly documented and recorded. In addition, our administration shall respond to any student matter quickly and consciously. Below shall be my 3 main focus. 1. Easy accessibility. It is very crystal clear that one of the major reasons for failure in government is communication gap between leaders and followers. It is on this note I plan to initiate more open and closer student relationship teams and platforms where all students can always channel their complaint directly to SUG executives. We will also be organized a conference every semester tagged Have Your Say Conference. This conference will serve as a hub of idea where we'll be free to contribute their opinion with regard to what is happening surrounding the student union activities. Together with your trust, we will achieve all this. Number 2, transformation activities. I will be proposing in collaboration with members of the Executive Council more unique social life of students in conjunction with the office of ABU. All I, Comrade Abubakar Ndakogariba, popularly known as Bakogi, if elected as the General Secretary, will ensure I work with the President and Directorate for more peaceful coexistence between off-campus students and host community residents for our Futminna residing in off-campus lives and property safety. While for Hostelite, we will work strongly with Hostel Rep for all your needs. More also, I will work with the Welfare Director to leverage on Niger State Transportation Authority and Nigeria Union Transportation in Niger State chapter to partner with the school for more buses and keke in order to reduce the cost of transportation stress and time wasted. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. We're slowly heading to the top of the list, but before we get there, we've had a couple of people who were not available when they were called. We have on that list Eze Christian Nabike. He's a 300 level student of telecommunications engineering, vying for the office of Welfare 1. Another person who wasn't here, just to confirm whether or not he's here now, is the person who is vying for the office of Assistant General Secretary, Christopher Abimiku Danjuma. Is he here yet? Okay, so Mr. Eze Christian Nabike, please make your way forward to present your manifesto.
Search
And of the greatest, go sir. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Please, I apologize to the chairman, SWEG, the dean, deputy dean, student affairs, the secretary, SWEG, and every other executive seated here. My apologies to every distinguished ladies and gentlemen seated here. I am by name Eze Christian Nabike, popularly known as CN Galaxy, the incumbent or the outgoing Assistant General Secretary of the Student Union Government, and the aspirant for the post of the Welfare Director 1 in the forthcoming SUJ election. I have discovered by virtue of experience that to solve a problem, you need just 2 things. First, discover the problem, and secondly, launch the solution. And that is why the hashtag for this movement is strategic welfareism. To ensure the ability to know the problem is to broaden the tentacles of the Welfare Directorate. To do this, I intend to work with the administration to have ambassadors, Welfare Directorate ambassadors in different faculties or schools who can be able to be in direct contact with the students, to know directly the problems the students are facing. By this, the information gap between the directorate and the students is being bridged. And knowing this problem, what is next? Being able to launch the solutions. By virtue of experience, I know many aspirants who feel, I can do this, I can do that, I can do this. But we know, to be frank, that the school itself has its own limitation. The union as a body has its own limitation. Having been a part of this current administration, I've known to some extent that these are things that can be achieved, and these are things that cannot be achieved. So going into this administration, I'm launching my solution strategically to where a solution can be achieved, not doing a try and error activity throughout the administration. So finally, to conclude my manifesto, I want to ensure the entire Futminna that when elected as the Welfare Director 1 institution, I will ensure that the welfareism of the student is the ultimate law. Thank you very much. I remain Eze Christian Galaxy.
That was an exciting one. So it's becoming more interesting now. We'll be moving over to the presidency. Let's have the of Mr. Lawrence Lucky Ewe from Department of Electrical and Electronics Engineering, 400. So you are to be accompanied by. Please let's have it quiet. Thank you. Mr. Lawrence Lucky Ewe is to be accompanied by Yakubu Ahmed Rabiu from Department of Crop Production, vying for Vice President 1, a 300 level student, and VP2 Olowo Kere Temitope from Science Education, vying for Vice President 2.
Of the greatest Nigerian student.
You have 5 minutes,
Of
please.
the greatest Nigerian student. I used to tell people I'm not aspiring. Yes, I'm not aspiring. You people are aspiring through me. You need good governance. By the special grace of God, well known, my name remains Lawrence Lucky Ewe, popularly known as Foreigner, aspiring for the office of the SUG presidency in the forthcoming election. Part of my administrative plan, if elected into office, number one, to capture accommodation. We have a problem and we need a solution. And I want to stand boldly before you to tell you that I have the perfect solution. It is easy to say I can do it, but can you have the algorithm? Even when you have the algorithm to deliver, did you have that capacity? Did you have that charisma? When we talk of the ability to deliver, we talk about your level of exposure. I don't believe in people that said, I have served in this and that. What have you to show to us? By the special grace of God, part of my administrative plan, we will cover accommodation. Currently in my own house, we are paying 150,000 and the landlord brought a notice that it is 200. And anybody that is not comfortable is permitted to leave. 200,000 is too outrageous. By the special grace of God, I'll come up with a mechanism to tackle this. Part of the mechanism includes making our students get accommodation through the student union. We'll make a form available. You get a form through the student union. Be rest assured that you are not paying agent fee. Agent fee is cancelled already. Part of the welfareism I want to tell you about. Then we get, yes, of the greatest Nigerian student. Of the greatest Nigerian student, we have limited time. We have limited time. I'm telling you that agent fee is cancelled automatically. You are paying directly to the student union, and we will allocate to you a building. Any landlord that is not willing to work with us will have no tenant. I think we can control it. And secondly, I work with a developer. This is why we say wealth of experience is very vital. Very, very vital. I'm working with a development company, a developer per se, and I have intention of bringing these categories of company to our institution. It is happening. According to the Code of Conduct of Industrial Law, we have what we call BOT. We have what we call BOOT. Build, own, operate, and transfer. Build, operate, and transfer. They can come here to assist us. They will build, get their money, then go after a stipulated time. By the special grace of God, lastly, if elected into office, I will make sure electricity is never a challenge. By the special grace of God, I am a 400 level student of the Department of Electrical and Electronics Department. So it shouldn't be a challenge. Yes, apart from having this theoretical knowledge in school, I want to tell you people boldly that I am fully industrious, working with Meckerson Nuget Electrical Company, one time a staff with Scafco Grain Company in Ado Ekiti, who has been physically involved in industrial electricity and currently working under a company who specializes in domestic electricity. I want to assure you that if elected into office, part of the plan will capture our students being industrial. We'll make sure we empower our students, except if we have the lazy ones. If you want to do something, we will help you to get to where you want to go. By the special grace of God, I will make sure theoretical knowledge is balanced with practical knowledge. Yes, with practical knowledge. expose our students. Let's expose our students from what they will go outside to see. The why the X will help you in class. The why the X integration, differentiation. When we talk of Laplace transformation and the rest, it will help you here in class. But I'm telling you, on the decking, while working as a technician, my brother, the application is less. So we want to make people open to the reality of life outside the theoretical knowledge. By the grace of God, if these developers will be working, if you're an electrical student, we take you outside to the field, maybe you do your sweep there. If you want to do your IT, we link you up with some relevant company outside. And by the special grace of God, we have links with professionals company who, by virtue of experience and affiliation, I will make sure that part of our students, if not 10 per company, will be doing IT with them. And the smartest one will get their job. Thank you very much.
Podcast transmission of Search
Thank you very much. We are down to the very last candidate, who is also the last presidential candidate. So let's welcome forward Busari Ibrahim Olamide, who is running for the office of President of Student Union. He is a 400 level student of the Water Resources, Aquaculture and Fisheries Technology Department. He will be supported by his team. For VP1 will be Nkume Esther Uloma, a 300 level student of Estate Management, and Audu Muhammad Al-Haji, a 400 level student of Science Education for Vice President 2. Please make your way forward.
One of the greatest dosa, Supremos Kiki.
All protocols duly observed. I humbly bring my atonement to your corridor, enriched with undiluted humility, branded with fervent sincerity of purpose, and prepared with delicacies of selflessness. Even in the midst of diversity, my fellow students and I are certain that we have things in common. We were being socialized and moralized by different parents, but our values and morals are mostly the same as Africans. We were raised in different places to be positive-minded individuals, and by chance, we met here for education. Our courses and departments are different, but we are all proudly Futmites. Together, we have faced a variety of challenges. The vicissitude of achieving qualitative educations are growing stronger and larger, and they must be addressed if you are to leave a good legacy, a good system for future generations. With the idea of malice to none, concentrated passion to all, imbued with high level of political sagacity, academic ingenuity, and social dexterity. They say information without introduction is nothing but an obnoxious calamity. For me to avoid this obnoxious calamity, I am a student of School of Agricultural Technology, Department of WAFT, by the name Busari Ibrahim Olamide, popularly known as Professor Coded. Here today is my Vice President 1, Nkume Esther Huloma, from the Department of Estate Management. Based on my experiences in youth development, leadership trainings, years of studying and diagnosing our challenges, years of tested and proven ideology, and proper consultation with my family, fellow comrades, and I, Professor Coded, have come up with the vision of the SPEC agenda, a long-term visible ideology. I am dedicated to improving the life of all students of Futminna through my mission that I call the SPEC agenda. I am a man whose vision in this mission is to create a Futminna where standard remains the new normal. By the special grace of God, when I, Busari Ibrahim Olamide, Professor Coded, emerged as the Student Union President, I shall work hand in hand with my Vice President and other members of the executive to deliver to Futmites the SPEC agenda. If you may ask me what are the SPEC agenda, the HERS is for the students' welfareism and security. I am not a newbie in student union, and I will not tell you this and that because I have served before. I know what capacity is about. It's not until you brag about capacity. You have logics, but is it implementable? You ask yourself, we will make sure we maximize campus security,
by working with university administration to increase presence of security personnel on campus. I will checkmate the rule of engagement of security personnel and engage them in further sensitization programs. I will provide mental health resources and support for students in need, including counseling services, mental health support groups, and with a whole new energy channel toward the rehabilitation of the school health system, school clinics inclusive. I will advocate for student rights and ensure that all students have access to a fair and just disciplinary process. We will agitate for affordable price and comfortability in transport and commodity prices, accommodation off campus alongside a student landlord transparent union relationship. The student union doesn't have the capacity to tell you that you come and collect form for agent fee. No, but the university can do that through the student affairs division. That is what they call experience. Coming on board as an 100-level student, I enjoy the privilege of free internet service across the school vicinity. Everyone is entitled to this, and we shall work our best to ensure that free Wi-Fi internet service is available for use across all the schools. Pro-academic excellence. As we all know that primary assignment in this school is academics, I will seek to organize academic workshops and in which tutorial unit committees shall be constituted. If elected as president of the student union, I shall advocate for summer sessions in school for students, where students with carryover can come back to do another course without extra year. We have high level of extra year, but we can tell the school to integrate summer sessions, entertainment and sports. All works are not played the same, make Jack's a Del boy. We will make sure we bring in entertainment and sports that students will participate in. I will maintain a clear transparency through my open line of communication with students, through regular town hall meetings and online forum. My vision for Futminna is one where all students feel supported and valued, regardless of their background or circumstances. On this time T Operation O Junction J, I would like to say, Aluta Continua Victoria Asata.
One house. Thank you. Kings, one house. Ladies and gentlemen, things have gotten pretty heated here. We've heard practically all of the candidates who are available here give their manifestos. And so far, it's been really, really interesting. Don't you think so, Rita?
Yes, I do think it has been really interesting listening to them talk about their aspirations and the plans that they have for students. Peradventure, they are elected into the several offices in which they are vying for.
Okay, so we'll just take a brief break now so that we can prepare for the one-on-one presidential debate. Remember that you can put questions to the candidates following the debate, so please stay with us. We'll take a brief break and we'll be back for the presidential debate for the upcoming student union election. Thank you.
Studios. ByPower.ng Recording Studios is the official recording studio of Search Media, located at MBB House, Futminna Main Campus, Kidankwano. We are officially open to provide you with the best quality in audio and video production of jingles, educational material, religious contents, political campaigns, and publications, among others. Want music recordings, professional song mixing and mastering, poetry or spoken words production, podcast, dubbing, voiceovers, radio and TV drama recordings, as well as independent programs and documentary production on radio, TV, or social media? ByPower.ng Studios is equipped to handle all of that, as well as host your live studio performances, band recordings, and rehearsal sessions. At ByPower.ng Studios, we have a range of in-house sound producers to work with you, and you are also at liberty to come in with your desired producer for your recording sessions 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. For inquiries or bookings, please call 0705 497 6908 or visit www.searchmediamx.com/ByPowerNG Studios. Bypower.ng Recording Studios, MBB House, now open.
So I'll have to take it again. Okay.
Search TV.
Subscribe to Search TV on YouTube. Search for Search TV and click the subscribe button.
Welcome to Bypower.ng Recording Studios. Bypower.ng Recording Studios is the official recording studio of Search Media, located at MBB House, Futminna Main Campus, Kidankwano. We are officially open to provide you with the best quality in audio and video production of jingles, educational material, religious contents, political campaigns, and publications, among others. Want music recordings, professional song mixing and mastering, poetry or spoken words production, podcast, dubbing, voiceovers, radio and TV drama recordings, as well as independent programs and documentary production on radio, TV, or social media? Bypower.ng Studios is equipped to handle all of that, as well as host your live studio performances, band recordings, and rehearsal sessions. At Bypower.ng Studios, we have a range of in-house sound producers to work with you, and you are also at liberty to come in with your desired producer for your recording sessions 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. For inquiries or bookings, please call 0705-497-6908 or visit www.searchmediamx.com.
Applause, please. And on my left is Busari Ibrahim Olamide. He's a 400 level student of WAFT. He also is vying for the office of the president of the Student Union. A round of applause, please. So I have a few questions here that we will be directing to both candidates. Each question you have 2 minutes to answer. So we'll be starting from Mr. Busari. We're going alphabetical order, and your name starts with a B, your name starts with an L. You answer the question, and then your opponent answers the same question. Do you guys understand, please? Are we clear? Please, I would require that everyone, the live audience, should please not interrupt their candidates, regardless of whether you're supporting or you have something against what it is you're saying, so that you do not distract them and they're able to answer the questions coherently. Are we together? Are we together, gentlemen and ladies? Okay, so we'll begin now. First off, Mr. Busari, let's begin with an introduction. Can you tell us about yourself? Tell everyone here and all our listeners at home about yourself.
I'm by name Busari Ibrahim Olamide, popularly known as Professor Coded. I'm a 400 level student of WAFT Department, School of Agric and Agricultural Technology. Before now, I have served in different capacities, which include the Nigerian Association of Agricultural Students, where I served as a public relations officer. I have served in my indigenous association, National Association of Oyo Students, and I was also the past PRO. Okay, immediate past PRO before this student union.
Thank you. Can you introduce yourself?
Yeah, thank you very much. My name is Lawrence Lucky Ewe, popularly addressed as Foreigner, a 400 level student of the Department of Electrical and Electronic Engineering. To a very large extent, I believe student politics is not something to be taken serious, not until when I have the burning desire, because I feel without my contribution, I am the problem of the union, because I'm seeing a niche I need to fix. By the grace of God, I have one time served as the organizing secretary of the Ariwa Progressive Movement for AECLE in Nasarawa State, currently the youth leader of the National Coalition Support Group for Tinubu, head by Honorable Francis Adebayo Ajayi, and currently in school serving as the NUBES president. Thank you very much.
Okay, great responses we have there. So we'll start from you this time. You held positions of, you've served in different positions, but would like to know, and I'm pretty sure that the student population would like to know as well, what exactly prompted you to run for the office of President of the Student Union?
Thank you very much. As we all know, necessity has always been the mother of invention, and I used to believe if there is a problem and you are complaining while you have the solution, then automatically you are the problem. I am stepping in, aspiring for the office of the presidency because I want to grow the political standard of FUT student unionism, to grow abroad of the greatest Bosa, of the greatest Baba. Let's think outside the box. How can we generate income for our student union? By the special grace of God, we must have flying ups and down that fees will be increased and other things. How can we actually support our students when situations like this happen? Despite the fact that we want to dialogue or negotiate with the management to come to a smiling point for the student and also for the management. But the truth is, as a student union, without income generation, it's a lie if you say you want to take care of student welfareism. It's difficult. How can we achieve this? And that is why it becomes a burning desire, because I know I have 999 ways to take care of this. So why would I allow somebody inferior to me with zero level of exposure outside based on the way I think to come and rule, and I complain the second time? So by the special grace of God, if given the permission to serve, I will make sure the student union is raised to a standard where our student school fees can be catered for. One of my intention is creating a room where the SUG can constantly be generating money even after me serving as the president, where most of our students that are unable to even pay their school fees, we can give them zero interest loan from the union post. It's not something difficult. It has been done different places, and let me tell you, by the time you keep doing the same thing in the same way with little upgrade, you get the same result. Thank you very much.
Before I proceed to direct the question to the other candidate, I would ask, please, that all candidates be respectful and not be derogatory to any other person. Thank you very much. The floor is yours, sir.
What I would likely say is prompting me to contest for the position of the student union president is experience and track records. How would you identify a problem? How did you identify a problem? Have you been part of the problem? If you want to identify a problem, it's because I have served as a former student union PRO, and I know what the students are facing. It's not about experience outside. You have to be inside before you understand what you are facing. So what prompted me to serving is because I have highlighted the problems, and I feel like this is my time to use those problems that I have, the problems I've highlighted, to use these solutions I have with them to solve the problems.
Okay, so I'll throw this right back to you because you started the last time. As an incoming student union leader, what concerns of students are you most interested in, and how do you plan to ensure that these needs are met?
Okay. As my agenda already says, I call it the SPEC agenda. What is the SPEC? Student welfareism and security, pro-academic excellence, entertainment, and declared transparency. Student welfareism and security should be the utmost priority of any student leader we are having in this school. Because look at the state of things. Everything still concerned about this welfareism of students. So I can say student welfareism is my utmost priority and is my main target for contesting for the president.
Okay, but how? How are you going to go about making sure this needs are met?
Okay. So that means you are telling me to highlight the problems and what students are facing and what I intend to tackle with it. When we talk about, we have about 21,000 students in school and we have provision for about maybe like 2,000 or 3,000 hostel. We have to make sure we facilitate investors from outside school to come and build more hostel for our students. Our students are suffering off campus. We have so many students that they can't even live off campus. But with the look of things, the state of the hostels, everything, they have to go back to off campus where they don't even feel secured. So what I'm saying in essence is that if I'm elected as the president, if welfareism of students living in hostel, I'll make sure we create a better environment and conducive place for them. Students living off campus, there is a scheme I call the students landlord relationship. So this one, you are not coming to the student union, you go to the dean of students. We are going in this committee, we are going to make sure there will be estate valuers and managers, which will be from our department of estate valuation. We will go off campus, value lodges, their estate valuers, how much is this lodge worth before our students can pay. Then anybody that wants to pay for, let's say Wakanda lodge, like I pay like this, we pay 130,000 before I stay in that house. And when I come, I have to facilitate a meeting with the landlord. And I'm telling you by now, we pay 80,000 naira. So this is not about, it's just about cooperation of students, estate valuers, and the student affairs divisions.
Thank you very much. So, sir, same question goes to you as an incoming student union leader for the position you're running. What concerns of the students are foremost for you? What are you most interested in? And how do you plan to meet these needs?
Thank you very much. One of my major concerns is the security of life and property of the student union. I think when there is life, that is where we can talk about hope for the living. Outside life, let's assume we now have life, worthiness. As a student, as a Nigerian student, we need to be physically industrious. We need to know why we are in school. Life after school, I evaluate 10,000 times to the life we have in school. It is very important to go to school, but I've seen graduates with distinction who are still struggling to get a job. How can we groom our students? Futminna is known as one of the best technology institutions, not only within Nigeria, but even in West Africa. How can we now stand outside to say that, yes, we are proud students of FUT? We can actually achieve this once we have the theoretical knowledge merged with the practical knowledge to give us a perfect definition of a footmind. By the time you have only the theoretical knowledge, then you can't stand the test of time. Companies and industries these days are not very, very focused on your degree certificate or what you graduate with. What they want to know is what you can offer. And by the special grace of God, I think this is a burning desire. I want to see my students, my fellow colleagues, fellow footmen outside doing extremely great companies and in industries. Let the world hear about us for not just being academically intelligent, but even industrious. Thank you very much.
Thank you. So still back at you, sir. Every year, executives come into office with various agendas, plans, mandates, all of the big, great ideas. Some of these are achieved, some of them are not. So how do you plan to ensure continuity of all the things that the current student union government has going on if you're elected into office?
Thank you very much. By the special grace of God, I have keenly followed this administration, and I must confess they extremely did great. But for those that couldn't follow, will not actually understand, it is not very easy to lay a foundation, and they have started it. Continuity is what I am coming for. That is why we tag transformation agenda. We are coming for continuity. And let me tell you, even at the cost of continuity, we will be planning on how our successors will still key into the continuity of this transformation agenda. How do I intend to achieve this? It's not all about leadership. I will set standard, set policy, that any other person coming after me cannot break it, cannot go outside it. The only thing he can do is work with it or add to it. Thank you very much.
So the question is that every year, every academic year, when executives come out to vie for offices in the student union, they have big ideas, they have dreams, they have goals, agendas, and mandates. If you're elected into office as the student union president, how do you plan to continue what has already been started by the current student union executives?
Thank you very much. If I am elected as the president, continuity is paramount. And then what I'll firstly do is, after being elected, I'll meet the student union president in charge, ask him about his policy document, take his policy document, scrutinize it with him, and merge it together, and see where, let me tell you, it's not all his plans are not feasible. Same as all my plans. No plan, every plan is not 100% feasible. But we have to make sure, if we are serving students, make sure their interest is first. What are the feasible plans? What are the feasible policy we can go about? If elected, and I want to continue what, there are some things he has been doing, like, look at this sport competition. I think it is one of the first time we are having this kind of competition where we participate in tackle, basketball, and all these things. We have varieties of sports. All these things, I will make sure, as the president, I have the sole responsibility over the other members of the executive. I will charge them that, look at what your former student union director of sport is doing. Follow his steps. Look at what you can scrutinize and implement it to your own policy too. So they say once beaten, twice shy. I've been a student union PRO, as I said earlier, and I have worked closely with the president. I have seen what he has done, and I have seen that there are some that the current student president is not following, and there are some that he is following. But still, I will have to go back to when I was in 100 level 2. I will checkmate all the policy documents and see some others that have been pre-planned and they have been stopped. Then I can continue and work over them.
Thank you very much. Remember that at the end of this debate, you have the opportunity to direct questions at either of the presidential candidates. So to the next question now. Right now, we live in a time where representation and inclusion is very important. And there's the notion that in FUT, women are less involved in politics, in political activities. So how do you plan to involve women in if you're elected as president?
You see, when you talk about women, people always think it's only about feminism. Chimamanda Adichie says feminism is not about making women stronger, but it is about changing the way the people perceive women. So Chimamanda Adichie is a woman, great things. In FUT now, look at this current administration we are about to embark on. There is no woman except the current vice president. We are going to have a summit program for women. I'm proud that there is APWEN, the Association of Professional Women in Engineering, and they are in this school. We need to have professional women in agriculture too, professional women in environmental too. So with this, I think with this, we have to sensitize women. Let them know women inclusion is paramount. Although we have like the ratio of women to men in this school is like 70-30, but we can still make sure we integrate the 30 into the 70. So if I am elected as the president, I will make sure there will be summits
There will be organizations of women, professional people with professional women from other institutions, from other companies. We sensitize them about what feminism is actually all about and how inclusion in politics and governance and everything matters.
You need me to repeat the question for you? Do you need me to repeat the question? Okay, so if you're elected as president of the student union, how do you plan to include women in the political activities of your administration?
Thank you very much. I would rather say the question is not all about including the women. The question is, are the women themselves interested in the political journey? You can't force a horse to go and drink, but you can force him to the river. Are they actually interested? If yes, then we'll scout out those that are interested, bridge them with words of encouragement, then make them understand how relevant and important it is to have women in a political cycle. It is very important. But the first thing is the matter of interest. You can't force somebody that is not interested and expect the person to deliver. But by the special grace of God, for those that will be interested, if I am given the privilege to serve as the next SUG president of this institution, I will make sure we come up with different programs that will actually bring out great and brilliant ideas to encourage women to venture into politics. Thank you.
So now let's move to some issue-based matters. Currently, we're facing a lot of issues in the country at large and right here on the university campus. One of these issues is the issue of the cash scarcity. Now, due to the recently established CBN policies, we're seeing that a lot of POS operators across the country, but also here on the university campus, are charging really exorbitantly for withdrawals and all of that. So if you're elected as president of the student union, what role union will play in regulating these prices?
Thank you very much. I think that question is one of the most important questions to be paid attention to. We need more banking institutes to come into the institution. I think we just have Union Bank actively depositing money in their ATM where we can actually make withdrawal. We need more of this development. With this, I believe we can actually regulate cash scarcity among our students. It's very easy. We can actually go outside there and then enforce law without setting a standard for ourselves. If institutes are here to back up this claim, then we'll encourage our students. We'll now merge force with the management. No student is permitted to go to the ATM without his student ID card. Once you are not our student, you are not permitted to withdraw from our bank. It's very important. I believe no student will go to the bank to go and withdraw 1 million. Neither are we expecting students to go to the bank to withdraw 500, 300,000 naira. We are students for crying out loud. The highest we can withdraw should be less than 50,000 naira. We just need to manage and fix up life. So I believe if we have other institutes to support the Union Bank, I think it's a brilliant one. Then we encourage the student and still place a very keen warning to the bank security. No student ID card, no withdrawal. Thank you very much.
Do you need me to repeat the question? Okay, so with the current climb in the country and on the university campus, with the current exorbitant charges of POS operators, how would your union, if you're elected, work towards regulating these charges?
Thank you very much. Before I proceed to that question, I'll just have a counter on what my opponent have said. This is Futminna, situated in Kidankwano. How do you want to restrict the host community people from withdrawing in their community? It's not possible. So one thing is, even with the policy of the central bank, you can't withdraw more than 20,000 naira on a card. But the question is, how do we make sure POS people are not charging above what they want to do? I could still remember when we were executive of the student union. This is my comrade here, Comrade Voltage. We both served together. He was the welfare director. He made sure that there was something our administration did. All agents or all shop owners in the office are always registered under the student union. If you are registered under the student union, then the student union have the right to censor you and tell you this is how much you are going to be charging. This is how much our commodities are to be purchased. So I believe the student union have the rights that anyone, look at the Okada people, look at everything. If you are registered under us, then that means we are your boss. And we can tell you this is how much you are to be charged our students. So the thing is, we are going to facilitate that, work together again with the students division affairs to make sure those POS, people in post office and ultramodern cooperate with us, and then we bring them under us so that we can censor their and regulate their prices.
Moving on to another issue, still central to the quality of life of students. This is speaking about transportation now. Now, we've had situations where at night, when students are either heading into school to read or going back home after a long day, there are reports, there are situations where we see that either bike men or keke napep operators charge way higher than the agreed prices. So what would your union do about this?
Yeah, like I said, before I was in this school, the student union have always been the one controlling the Okada people. But during our administration, we learned that the school, the Okada people are now registering under the student affairs. It's not supposed to be so. We are the one they are carrying. How many professors they carry keke? How many professors they carry Okada? So we have to make sure we move them back under the student union. So moving them back to give them jackets. Any student, we have through the PRO, any students that reported that from hostel to front of school, which we are supposed to be carrying 15 naira, they carry 16 naira. Just tell us the keke people or the bike people's number, then we can take them up. So I think with that, everything still have to do with if the student union is still regulating their prices. But we can't control what is not under our control. If the school thinks it is 100 naira and they don't have they don't see the need to bring the keke and the Okada people under the student union, then we have to advocate and facilitate that it should be brought back to us so that our students, so that the interest of our students can be put first.
So, sir, if you're elected as the student, how would you, work on this particular matter?
Thank you very much. I believe if you know where you are going, you don't need anybody to direct you. And once you don't know where you are going, even a blind man is free to direct you. One thing first, my administration will major on the major and minor on the minor. The truth is, once the students themselves are exposed to their rights as students, then we don't have problem. The problem is, some students don't even know their rights. Why will an Okada man be charging you above the agreed price when BCs are going out every day that this is the stipulated amount agreed unanimously between the student union or the management and the Okada rider? Then if you are paying, you choose to pay, and I believe that is practical foolishness, so you shouldn't even complain. I want to create a situation where if an Okada man is charging you higher, tell him you will not pay. And if he insists, our numbers are everywhere. Just put a call across. This is the kind of problem I will even be expecting. I will even be expecting them. Let me see the Okada man. I want to know why he wants to go outside the agreed plan. If he is not willing to work, then he's permitted to leave. I believe he comes in through registration. And if he's not willing to work, he's still permitted to go. I don't believe in begging people. I believe in agreement. Once there is agreement and you feel it is high time the agreement is not favoring you again, call to order. Let's have another set of meeting. If we don't like it and you don't like it, then we'll go for other partners for business. It's not compulsory. I used to say something. If it is not favorable to you, voice out. Then when it is not favorable to me, I will voice out. Then if the two of us cannot be compatible for business, then the two of us will go our separate way. We have 1,001 people that are willing to work with us. Thank you.
Now, there's an issue that has been you know, it's something that it's been a topic of discussion for a while now. There are speculations that BOSO students who live on the BOSO campus and go to school on the BOSO campus, are left out of events that take place in Gidankwano. So if you're elected, how do you plan to bridge this gap?
Thank you very much. By the special grace of God, we all know SPS and SLS will be coming, so we'll be left with SST to say. If there's any event going on, I believe we then have less number to be committed to. And the most important thing is, if the union cannot have a constant source of income generation, then we are handicapped. That's the plain truth. But once we can access money without going to pass through the Senate, getting a PV, then generating a PV, writing a letter, going to this and going to... I know how difficult it is to even get money from our own money from the management. I remember the last time we took some set of SRAs for excursion. We actually wrote a letter, and it took 3 weeks for us to access this cash. So my brother, is difficult. We need to create a system where we can have our own money, then access our own money anytime we feel like. But most importantly, all record must get to the Dean of Student Affairs. Very importantly, that is when we can say if there is any program, we can make provision for bus for people in Boston to actually come through the help of the student union fund directly, so that it will not be too difficult for us. If I'm telling you, sir, that we will carry them to this place, it's difficult. It is not achievable from my own pocket, neither is it achievable from the pocket of my executive. The truth is, if we don't have means of generating money and have access to our own money and use it wisely and religiously, we cannot achieve it. Thank you very much, sir.
So how would you bridge the gap when we're talking about transporting students for social events from the Boso campus to the Gidankwano campus?
So thank you very much, sir. Firstly, I have a vice president too that's not here, who is the current president of the School of Science and Technology Education. I am happy to tell you that the SPS and SLS are moving to GK, and SST will be the only school remaining in Boso. Right? SST has a candidate for welfare too, and they also have the vice president too, which is going to their place. So we microzoned when me and my team came together that we want to have a policy document that will bring inclusion to everybody. We microzoned the vice president to SSTE, because if we can have one of our executive at least, who is also their former president, I believe he knows what they are facing, and they will have a channel. And talking about inclusion, I believe this current administration has done well to make sure Boso students are being included in most of the things. Even the student union opening ceremony of the Vice Chancellor's Cup took place in Boso, and the opening ceremony took place in GK. So I think with that, we have to balance the equilibrium. We are bridging the gap small, and with this, and I'm even happy that SLS and SPS are coming down. So there is just very minor percentage that will be remaining in Boso. So I believe I'll work hand in hand with my vice president and also other welfares. We have a welfare committee that will be in charge of Boso campus. This 7-man committee will only be SSTU students, and they will be in charge of all welfareism and everything, all interest of Boso campus students, and they will be there to safeguard the interest.
Thank you very much. I've just received the instructions that for the rest of the questions, we'll be reducing the time to respond to 1 minute. Please, both candidates, take note. Timekeeper as well, please take note. So what security issues do you believe students are facing at the moment, and how do you intend to tackle them?
Okay. There are so many security challenges that students are facing. Just yesterday, they stole my friend's phone off campus. But right now, in our policy documents, we have the students' welfareism and security. We are going to work hand in hand with the ADC and the vigilante of campus first. We have to make sure there are stationed places that the vigilante people will be. major lodges. We have to charge major lodges off campus, like all these Adama, Will of God, SMS lodges, that if you are having a lodge of more than 10 rooms, then it is mandated for you a security post where there will be a security personnel. And so all other station places like Tower Road, front of school, we have to make sure we plant vigilantes. When I was the PRO then, I will always make reference to Danfex. Danfex made sure we work hand in hand with the Pakungo police station. And in the night, they will always be in front of school. Then I will also build on that legacy that if I am elected.
Thank you very much. So how would you, what would you say is one of the biggest security challenges faced by students now? And how would you tackle that challenge if you're elected as president?
The biggest threat of security that I feel as a student is lack of orientation. By the moment you expose the student to be more security conscious, I believe it's the first step taken to assure security. By the time you understand that late hour I should not walk alone, you have gone a step ahead in taking care of your security. Secondly, by the time you identify the fact that it is even an error for you to be walking with an iPhone of close to 1 million, lonely at night, you should be expecting so many things. The world is rough. So we need to orientate our students. They should understand that there are certain things that we should not do, and there are certain things that we should do. Then we work hand in hand with the security outposts, the AEDC, and then look forward on compensating them and rewarding them for the good work they will be doing. Thank you.
So the next question will be directed to you as well, sir. One house, please. Ladies and gentlemen, one house, please. Thank you very much. In the event that the school management comes up with policies or mandates that the student community will vote against, and you have to handle that situation, how would you go about it?
Coming up with a policy that the community will vote against. It's a very technical question, but by the grace of God, technical questions are answered with technicality. When they are coming up with policy that is not favoring the host community, which are dominated by the student and the dominant or host community, which are the graduate side. Okay, when the policy is not favoring us, then it gives rooms for dialogue. We are all human. We can actually differentiate between good and bad. But once it is at the detriment of we students, then it is right to say no to no. Let's call a spade a spade. Once this policy is wrong on us as students, let's call it a wrong policy. But once given a critical or microscopic view and discovered as young people, this is what elders are saying, then we key into what they are saying for a progressive nation to be grown. Thank you.
Thank you very much to both candidates to yield the mic when they hear the bell. Thank you very much. So, sir, in the event that the school management comes up with a policy or a mandate that the student community will vote against, how would you, if you're elected as the student union president, handle such a situation?
I've worked with I've worked with the current Vice Chancellor when he was still DVC, and also with the current Dean of Student Affairs when we were the Student Union PRO. I've always known them. I don't think they will come up with that kind of decision that will be negative to the interest of the student. And so, but if that happens, there is a method that will settle conflicts. We have to make sure there are policy implementations. If you bring up a policy that's not favorable to the students, then we have to have a congress of the students. Then selected stakeholders that will follow us to dialogue with the management that these policies are not effective, and so please, this policy shall not hold. We have to beg them that these are students, and the interest of students should not just be the priority of student union, but also the priority of the school management.
Now, as we all know, the primary aim, the primary purpose of every student on campus is their academics. If you're elected as president, what measures would you take to ensure that all students do better in their academics?
Thank you very much, sir. I call my agenda earlier the SPEC agenda, which the P is standing for pro-academic excellence. We all know academics is our utmost priority. And in my policy plans, I'll say we'll seek to organize academic workshops in which tutorial unit committees shall be constituted as well from the best hand in university towards the bid of engaging our students. So with this, we are going to make sure we advocate for tutorials from best. When I was in 100 level, there's a man they call Imran. But since he left, we've not had this kind of tutors that will tutor us. I know Salek is a very, very brilliant man, but he's not even willing to take tutorials for us. We have to make sure that we identify brilliant students who are also good tutors that can actually tutor our students and make sure they lead them to academic excellence.
So, sir, what measures would you take to ensure that students do better in their academic activities if you're elected as the Student Union President?
Thank you very much. I believe we are all students. Both those that have been tutored and the tutor himself, we have been students. I believe in motivation. I don't see it as payment, but I see it as another way of encouraging a fellow student. A student cannot be living like in Dharma and is coming every day inside the school for a tutorial. You won't even say how far, take care of this for your transport. You won't even give him a goal. By the time you motivate a person, by the time you make person see relevancy in what he is doing, then you get more out of him through appreciation. In my administration, I will make sure we appreciate people that are willing to sow into the life of students. Thank you very much.
Once again, to members of the live audience, if you have anything that you oppose whichever of the candidates is speaking, please, there's going to be the opportunity for you to ask questions. Please do not interrupt them when they're speaking. Thank you very much. Now, how do you intend to promote self-development amongst the student community?
Yeah, thank you very much. I think I've earlier said, when we talk about self-development, we talk about how to make people industrious. That is what we call self-development. How you train people to live independent. I believe 70 to 80% of the students of FUT are fully or partially dependent. How can we train them to be dependent, to be fully independent? That is where we say self-development is the key to a sustainable lifestyle. Once you expose them to the reality of things, I've seen a situation where a student don't even know how to make ₦1 of his own. They subscribe for him from home, give him pocket money, give him food stuff. This kind of people can actually find life very difficult if they graduate and they don't have a ready-made job. By the special grace of God, we will make provision for people for a job, for people who are willing to work, who are willing to learn, and who are very loyal and exposed to learning. Thank you.
So how do you intend to promote self-development amongst the student community?
Okay. Self-development, I believe, is the ability to learn and build new skills. If we want to develop if we want to enhance self-development of our students, there are so many skills that we can bring on board for them. Look at the hackathon in SICT. Look at so many other things. We'll bring in professionals who are maybe tech enthusiasts. We'll bring in empowerment for our students. You have to develop yourself. There is life after school. We motivate them, see reason for them to have this kind of self-development. Then with this, you can be in agric and also be a full-time hacker. There are ways to these things, and these are the things we are going to be bringing on board. Part of our welfareism plan to bring in empowerment to our students, develop them, and let them learn new skills. So with this, I believe self-development will be a big and greater thing for us to achieve.
Now, we've spoken about self-development, but on the campus, both on the Gidankwano campus and the Boso campus, we already have student entrepreneurs. So if you're elected as the Student Union President, how do you plan to create a thriving environment for student entrepreneurs, both for those who already exist and those who would like to step into that role?
It's still part of my policy plan that student entrepreneurs and campus. Look at student entrepreneurs and campus. Someone will be selling something and their capital is even more than 5,000. But we call them entrepreneurs. If I'm elected as the president, there will be a portion of the student union fund that will be channeled toward empowerment. If you have a skill, you are an entrepreneur, what do you need? Is it funding? Then the student union, you can write to the student union. We can secure funding from you, even if it is part of the student union fund. The student union fund is not supposed to just be used on socials party alone. Bring in entrepreneurs, fund them, or even give them more opportunities outside. If you make Adire, I can show you places where you can all these things can be facilitated. I can bring in more people from outside that will make sure your enterprises is moving forward.
So, sir, how